Hello, my name is Dr. Caroline Walker and I'm an NHS psychiatrist and a full-time doctor's wellbeing specialist. I have been making a series of videos about the emotional and mental impact of COVID-19 on doctors, and today I just wanted to make a short video about something that I've been hearing about a lot from doctors over the last few days, and that is WhatsApp fatigue or WhatsApp overload or the WhatsApp nightmare. People are calling it different things, but basically I think our many different communication methods are starting to be slightly problematic for us. So, whereas a few days ago it was really helpful for us to be in touch with our colleagues and friends and family really easily through different methods, it's now tipping into us being bombarded left, right and centre from lots of different angles, from lots of different people in email, in WhatsApp, in Messenger, and all these different modalities, and it's getting a little bit too much, and I'm really starting to see that it's starting to impact on doctors' well-being, causing them quite a lot of distress, anxiety and stress. So I really wanted to make a short video today to pass on some of my top tips for what you can do to manage this particular issue at this point in time, and I've gathered some top tips from my friends and colleagues who are working in the field of doctors' wellbeing, and these are the things that are working for doctors out there right now to try and manage this particular issue. So the first thing I want to say is that I think it's really important that we take back control here, because actually it's us that's in control of when we look at our messages, and not the phone or the computer that's in control of us. So first of all, thinking about perhaps putting in some boundaries around the times that you're using these and interacting with these different apps and different information flows. So I'm trying to minimize my personal use to kind of a short few minutes in the morning and a short few minutes in the evening, and that's working okay for me at the moment. But sometimes I'm still getting dragged down that little rabbit hole, and as we all are, but actually just feeling a little bit more like I'm the one that's deciding is really helping. And so thinking about what's going to work for you in that sense in your life as a doctor right now facing the challenges of COVID. When do you want to look at your messages? When is it going to work for you? Then thinking about things like the practicalities of where these apps are on your phone. So perhaps putting the app or the WhatsApp onto a different screen, for example, that can be really helpful, so it's not the first screen that you see. Maybe turning your screen to black and white so that the red notifications aren't so obvious, because red is a really it's a really alerting colour, and it raises our threat level. So even just something simple like that, turning your screen black and white, can be helpful. Turning off notifications, I think that's really important at the moment. I recommend that all the time anyway, but right now I think it's really important that it's not this little machine that's going ping, you've got a message, you must look at it, but it's us that's choosing again when we look at those messages. Turning off your sounds, I think, is really important as well, because even if you're not looking at your phone, if a sound is going, that's going to be alerting you constantly and interrupting your train of thought or what you might be doing at that time. Something I've heard from a few teams, because we're all kind of gathered in teams on WhatsApp at the moment in terms of communicating with each other, and that's really important to be able to get information to each other. But what's happening, because of the way that WhatsApp works, is there's so many messages, and you can go away for a little bit, get a break, but come back and there's like 500 messages that you've missed, that kind of awful moment, and you think, oh, if I missed something important. Some teams have got a really helpful strategy in place where they're having two different WhatsApp groups. It might sound worse because you're going to have two WhatsApp groups, but one of them is for your put whatever you like in it, right? So put your memes and your general chat and rumours and all of that stuff goes in there, that general chat. And the other one is a need to know group. So it's like that's where you put the stuff that you actually have to know, that you have to see. So the kind of where you need to be, somebody's not there that day because they're sick, or those absolutely need to know elements that a team needs to know. And that can be really helpful, because then you can kind of mute and ignore the other group, but look at it if you want to and use it if you want to, but you're still going to get that important information that you need. And anything kind of COVID related that's important that needs to go in that group can go in that group. And having somebody that sort of slightly polices that second group just to protect it, so that anything that is not really necessary gets put into the other group. So that's a few strategies that are working for doctors out there at the moment for managing their WhatsApp. I just want to mention a couple of things around email for a moment. So again, it can get a bit overwhelming keeping on top of your email at the best of times, but at the moment it's a real struggle for a lot of us. So I'd really recommend that you have a COVID email folder. This is something that's working for a lot of doctors. So this is where you kind of you pull over and drag over those really important emails that are to do with COVID related stuff that you know you're going to need to come back to. So that's your kind of guidelines and your those important bits of document that you really want to come back to. And something that also works really well for me is to have a post-COVID folder, and this is where I'm putting those things that are really important to me in my normal day-to-day working life that I want to deal with and I want to come back to, but right now they're not that important with everything that's going on. And so I've got this post-COVID folder that I know one day in a few months when this is all kind of settled down, I'll come back to that and I'll look through and I'll go, oh yeah, there's that thing that I really wanted to pick back up on. So that's a couple of thoughts about email. One final thought, I'd really recommend thinking about setting some kind of boundaries around for your friends and your family and maybe your colleagues. So maybe writing a one message that you can copy and paste into those groups and individual chats that you're getting most kind of information flow from at the moment, that says something like, during this difficult time I'm finding it hard to manage my information flow and I'm just trying to just moderate that slightly and reduce the amount I'm having to use my phone at this time. So please do keep messaging me, but please don't expect a response, or if it's urgent, please phone me. Because then you know that if you're not reading them, you're not getting back to them, it's okay, they understand that. It's not personal, it's not being rude, it's just that you've got far too many things to be keeping on top of at the moment. And if they do need to get hold of you, you're not going to miss anything important because they can phone you and leave a message. So I really recommend writing something like that, a little message that you can copy and paste into your kind of most frequently used groups and to your most frequent people that you interact with. And I think if we can just start to put in place some of these, you don't have to use all of these techniques, but just try one or two, see which ones work for you, try a couple out in your teams and see what works for you. But I think it just means we're going to get a little bit more control back and feel a little bit less overwhelmed by this constant bombardment of information and communications that's happening at the moment. As I say, I think this was really helpful to have all these things in place where we can communicate really quickly with each other, but we need to kind of think about how we're using them most effectively so they don't become our enemy. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, share. Please share your own ideas as well about how you're managing your tech and the things that you're doing that are working for you or that you've heard others are doing, because we all need these ideas at the moment to try and get on top of the things that we can control when there is so much going on at the moment that we can't. So yeah, please do like, love, share, comment, and as always with all my videos, if any of you are really struggling at the moment with this issue or any other issue, please get in touch at caroline@joyfuldoctor.com. If I can help in any way, if I can signpost you to support, then I'd be really happy to do that. I will speak to you again soon. Thank you for listening. Bye.